women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah.
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
X, my brother.
No, don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
You're watching America This Morning, America's #1 early.
Time after time after time, we are watching murderers go free. They hide behind their badges, they hide behind their white privilege, and they use the excuse that they fear for their lives to murder our young people in cold blood.
It's done.
X, my brother.
No, don't think about it.
All you self-righteous assholes do is march and destroy your own communities. Killing me won't change a goddamn thing.
It's a lot different when it's a grown black man standing his ground.
Barbershop Conversations, man. I appreciate you coming through the building. JP, Edward, JQ, what it do, what it do? Keno, Jeff Smith, Benjamin, Silva, what it do, man? Without further ado, Lincoln, Curtis, Gerald, Hawthorne. Hey, Lincoln, Curtis, Gerald, Hawthorne, and they're cheering for you in the chat. Great work. Congratulations. Thank you guys so much, man. And we got an awesome show tonight, man. And I didn't know religion was that important. I mean, I know it's important. Don't get me wrong about importance. What's up, homie? 9:30, but come out at 8:45. Come back at 8:45. Yep. And when we were talking, leave it open. When we were talking about not Cameron Dollar, that's the point guard from UCLA, Creflo Dollar, I realized it ignited a pulse and started a conversation that was so intentional that we haven't had in a while. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, we got to bring this back. And I really don't care about the numbers at this point that we get in here. If it's good, it's good. If it's great, it's great. I think the conversation is important where everyone can voice their opinion. And it started with Creflo Dollar and how he came out and said all these years, he's been wrong about tithing. He woke up one morning and it finally came to him. We should not be tithing this way. I say it's a bullish. I say it's a bunch of bullshit. He robbed the people and now he's honest with his mortality. He's probably 60 years old, and he knows he doesn't know when God is going to call him, and he want to walk through those pearly gates like everyone else. Now, my question is, why are people still sitting in that church and not uprising? And this is the problem that I don't understand. Why do people have more love for their pastor than they do their last name? My pastor got a Rolls Royce. My pastor got a BMW. You live in a one-bedroom apartment. You say, my pastor live in a mansion. Jesus washed feet. He was a carpenter. That means he was on his knees being humble. That's a metaphor. But the pastors in 2022, these religious leaders, they got mansions and Rolls Royce and multiple homes. Shouldn't they be in the streets? I'm asking for a fellow Christian or Muslim. Your pastor spent more time in the building than on the streets. Jesus was on a donkey, walking and talking. Walk it like I talk it. You know what I'm saying? And then we got that motherfucking molester, man. Oh, man, why am I drawing a blank on his name? But you guys know what I'm talking about. Maybe my selective memory forces me to forget his name. What's that man's name on the thumbnail with the tight shirt that molested all those little boys? But he was just worse. And then we got old black women. You guys got to watch those interviews. Old black women out here. I support him. How the hell grandma out here supporting a child molester? But that's the same grandma. That's the not York, not Malachi York. I don't have him on there. Eddie Long. Thank you. Eddie Long. Eddie Long is his name. You know what I mean? And it's just deplorable, man. You hit the like button. Why don't you? It's just literally deplorable, man. But that's the same grandma that was hiding her molester son. You know what I mean? That molested his cousin or sister or whoever the case may be. That's exactly who grandma is hiding. You know, grandma is hiding that she was molested by her uncle. You know, and then it just becomes cyclical, where the victim is shameful. No, the perpetrator should be shameful. You understand what I'm saying? So I think that we need to be more outspoken. And then Farrakhan is on there as well. Farrakhan amazes. It don't not amazing in the worst way possible, because he say he's fighting for black liberation, but he praises killing a black man because he betrayed his teacher. How the fuck betraying your teacher is worthy of death? But you did say that it's worthy of death. And there's thousands of black men that support that message. But wait. You tell another black man that he got to value another black man's life. You guys got to make this make sense. Meanwhile, this religious edifier, I like that, is telling his parishioners that, yeah, we killed Malcolm. That was our problem. What you gonna do about it? It's nothing for you to worry about. You know, and he takes money. Not only did he take money, but he takes money from the government. All this, I'm in the breaks in the show, I have all the artifacts. But he takes money from the government and he calls the government Satan. How is the government Satan when you're getting checks from him? Make that make sense, y'all. The government is the devil, right? We must tear down the government, but we can't tear down the department of the government that pays me these millions of dollars. That's why I said, man, all these guys have been bought and paid for, man, and they are liaisons, you know, similar to the assistant coach that sits on the college bench. Part of the reason why they're coaches is because they can relate, and makes them more relatable, gives them the ability to recruit. And when you recruit, the head coach gets all the rewards, right? Kind of like Duke, right? Kind of like Kentucky, right? Where they get all these great athletes that they go into the inner city and get all these great athletes, but it's the assistant coach that's doing all the work. I just don't understand how the white man is the devil, but you're getting a check from the white man. I mean, not just the white man, the government. The government is the devil. But I'm gonna take these millions of dollars though, and we're gonna say it's the right thing to do. And then we got Elijah Muhammad. And anyone else you guys want to call in and beam in on, you guys are more than welcome to. I have a feeling that we're gonna do a part 2 to this. And then you have Elijah Muhammad. You know, he's one of my favorites, man. He is. Some people call him. Some people say he's the greatest man of the 20th century. I call him the worst man of the 20th century, because not only did he lay the pavement for Malcolm X to be murdered, 2, he robbed black people of millions of dollars, paid them nothing, and 3, raped and molested. Statutory rape is rape. Underage girls. When an old ass man is having sex with young girls, that's statutory rape. When you're raping young girls, lying to your wife, having your kid go in hiding because he can't talk, I think he's one of the worst men ever. You know what I mean? Malachi York is up there too, you know, but I haven't done much research on him. But what he's done is an atrocity, you know. And I think that when you just look at things at face value, not with your emotions, and replace those women with your daughter, replace those older women with your grandmother, how would you feel? See, when it's not relatable to us, we just wash it over, right? Kind of like people getting murdered in Africa, right? People getting murdered in Africa. You might say God bless them, but you're going to keep on swiping. You know what I mean? It's not until it hits the shores of America where we're like, oh, damn, we got to do something about gun violence, man. Gun violence is just terrible, man. You know what I mean? Oh, man. You understand what I'm saying? And, you know, I think we need to be more vocal. I really, really believe we need to be more vocal about this, man. I'm open up, man, because I think this is a great conversation to have. And I will, as we move forward, I will play the clips and stuff. As we proceed, I'll play the clips as we move forward. But these false prophets has cost us billions of dollars and billions and trillions of steps in the right direction. They have lived a great life. Meanwhile, the parishioners are poor. From Creflo Dollar to Eddie Long to Elijah Muhammad to Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan lives in a mansion. And people think like, hey, that's the right thing to do. He lives in a mansion. Yeah, he lives in a mansion. I'm going to go sell these 200 newspapers so he can live in a mansion. He should be the most humble, in my opinion. But collectively, they have abused their powers, man. Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan got over 50 kids. And Farrakhan has hid them his whole life. But when he dies, they're going to say they were his wives as well, because they're going to come out for the money too. Oh, they coming. And you know what they're going to say? Those were his wives. Have you ever heard Farrakhan mention anybody else besides Khadijah? No, you haven't. He said he only has 9 kids. Go look on the when his son died. Go look at the funeral thing. It don't have all the other kids and all the other wives. It got the 9 kids and his wife. But they're going to come back with something. And guess what black people going to believe? They're going to believe them because they're afraid to stand up for the truth. They're afraid to stand up for the truth. It's stupid. It's literally stupid. You know, and we just sit idle. Did I put it? Oh, yeah, I put it. I'm sorry. We just sit idle. We just sit idle and just accept this shit like it's cool. Oh, I'm just going to be quiet. I'm just going to let her get raped. You know what I mean? Oh, it's cool. It's not my daughter. So it's none of my business. And then you know what they say? Oh, Fred, he's a dead man. So is George Jefferson. So is Abraham Lincoln. But we still bring that up. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, man, I think that we need to stand up and speak out. And if you disagree with me, beam in. I'm all for the disagreements. You know what I mean? I'm all for the disagreements. Anyways, man, I got you next on the beam in, man. I got you next on the beam in. What's up? How's the drive tonight?
Oh, it's cool, Fred. It's cool. Hey, I got to start off by saying, man, you one of the few people who had somebody on to contradict and call this out from the beginning. A lot of these cats, it seems like they in hopes, but these people come on their show so they won't call them out.
Right.
I remember you had that gentleman name. You'll probably remember his name, the gentleman who did an initial investment with Jay, and he told his whole story about how he didn't know.
Rod.
He was really new. What was his name? You remember his name?
Rod.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, for folks who haven't watched that interview, I think they need to go back and watch that, because that was very insightful. When he came out, I think my perspective is more so towards the actual fund itself, what he said he was going to do, and I think that, to me personally, we got to stop looking for a hero and realize that there's nobody going to come save you. If you're not financially literate, you're not going to give your money to somebody and they're just going to save you. That's not going to happen. And if you look at Jay Morrison Fund, what he said he was going to do, the fund was based off him buying and selling real estate. And he lost money in a year when real estate was escalating. Like, how does that happen? And like you said about these churches, these people aren't taking their money out. Well, they can't take their money out because it was a lockup period. So during COVID, even if you did the minimum investment, which was $500, you couldn't take your money out of that during the time people needed it. And the biggest part, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to go ahead and get off. People have to realize if you do any investment, from the smallest publicly traded company to the largest one, most of those CEOs take their salary and they reinvest their salary back into the company because it shows that you have confidence in your company. These people that we're talking about, they don't invest nothing. They're taking your money and they're investing it and they're living off of it. So that says a lot. Like Elon Musk became billionaire or whatever he is by taking his salary and the stock options and reinvesting those things. That's how he got the money he is. But these dudes don't invest any money into anything. They just take your money, they live off of it, and they make these promises and they keep switching stuff. It's like you're having a conversation with somebody and they keep changing the subject. You're never going to get anywhere with these people. But that's my call, Fred. I'm going to go ahead and get off. I think people just got to be more financially savvy,
Right.
and we wouldn't fall for these things. And we have to also not be looking for nobody to save us, because that's not going to happen. But I appreciate you, Fred. Again, I got to give you flowers because you were one of the very few people who called, who had somebody on that contradicted Jay. And a lot of these people, they don't want to do it because they don't want to seem as a hater. No matter what it is, they just don't do it. Even now, they're scared to do it. But I appreciate you, Fred. I'm going to go ahead and get off.
Appreciate you. Thank you, dog. Appreciate you. We got somebody coming in the building. Having TBH. Was that to be honest? What that stand for?
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing? I saw, yeah, man. I saw that I saw that you were talking about this this topic, and me personally, I wanted to address this topic because I've been a part of and salute to you, by the way, Fred Barbershop Conversations. I have in my time dealt with groups and organizations, and of course I've dealt with like the title says in the video or on your live stream, are false prophets and black community agents of the government.
Right.
I've dealt with, look, I'll tell you what I am. I'm a Hebrew Israelite.
Mm-hmm.
And I've taught in the streets. I've been part of organizations too, myself, and I have seen, and I've seen with the Christian church, of course. I've had family members that were Christians, and I've dealt with the Christian church when I was younger. In going on 10 years, I've dealt with the Israelite community, and I've seen in all of these communities. You gotta understand. I've done documentaries and breakdowns, and I've broken things down to people individually, speaking to people, over the phone or just in general, talking about the things that go on in these communities, and about these leaders. A lot of these leaders that are out here, especially when you see a lot of guys that get a lot of followings,
right,
and a lot of men to follow them. They use these men as a pyramid scheme to make money. And like you were addressing earlier about Eddie Long and some of these Christian people, how they talk about, I'm happy that my pastor, he's driving a Rolls Royce or an Audi 8 and whatnot, right? This goes on in all of these different communities because our people, even though our people were in slavery and were in captivity, and it doesn't matter what belief system you believe in, this is something that we know has went on.
Right.
They go from one captivity to a whole nother captivity off of a certain belief system.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is they end up worshiping this man as if he's a god, like he is sent down from God,
right,
to lead our people. And our people, and I'm gonna just say this, and from my religious standpoint, from reading the Bible, the scriptures always talked about, of course, there's ordained men, all right, because you follow certain men based off of their actions and what they do, right? Now, it also talks about not trusting and following men, because trusting and following in certain men will lead you to your own destruction.
Right.
And I've seen it myself, and I'm just saying I've witnessed myself because I've witnessed agents. I've dealt with this before. I've seen. I go at these guys in particular, like whether it be on YouTube or whether it be Facebook, whether it be in person, because I know these guys sold out. I know these guys are agents.
Mhm.
I'm just speaking of the community that I am, but I also can talk about the counterintelligence program. I can talk about a lot of different things, but just to summarize some of the things that I want to say is that, look, even with what I'm into and what I've seen, and I've dealt with things, and I've led groups of men, by the hundreds and whatnot. There are leaders that are literally set up to funnel people into their particular organizations. Right. And this goes on Christianity, Islam, Israelites, what have you. To draw certain men in and have them confined, because those individuals that are there, the guys that are up top, they make the most money because they have memberships. They have memberships where you have to pay $100 a month.
Right.
For a religious movement, $100 a month. It's not like you're donating or we're saving up as a group to get an event going. It's not something like that. What you're doing is you're paying for something that's supposed to be free, which is a belief system. And if you believe Islam or being a Hebrew Israelite is your heritage, you shouldn't be paying for your heritage. And that's what these things have been set up for. And a lot of these guys, and I see it. I mean, guys take the bag. Guys get set up by the FBI, the CIA, in certain cases, the CIA in certain cases. And some of these, I mean, I'll just call it what it is, some of these occultic groups. Because like I said, I've exposed guys. I've brought people to light to the point where they will not address what I said. What they will do though, they'll do agent provocateurish type tactics. They will go out there, try to throw idle threats to yourself, to myself, or to your family. Try to do little subliminal scare tactics type things that won't work.
Right. Are you talking about Nation of Islam members?
Oh, I'm talking about the Israelites.
Oh, the Israelite. Okay.
I'm just saying, because this is what people. There's people that can testify right now. If they even watch, there probably some that watch your channel. That if they see me, they know exactly who I am. They probably can testify to that. All right. There are things that when you deal with a lot of these individuals and a lot of these leaders, and I'm gonna just say this: these high-ranking leaders, most of them, if not all, are set up. And I don't know if it was a quote with Aleister Crowley, or I don't know who it was, but or the government, they made this quote: "We create your heroes." We create your heroes. And look, I don't want to look. It's not about offending nobody. It's the truth.
Yes.
When you deal with, and I know you had the Malcolm X shirt, and some things I agree with what Malcolm was said, but I it's no disrespect to the brother.
Say it. Yeah.
But he was controlled.
Yeah, for 12 years.
For 12 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy. He started talking about the Israelites a little bit. He started talking about certain things, and that's when the Nation of Islam started getting on him and started moving away and shying away from him. What's his name? Martin Luther King. He was bought and paid for by. I'm not gonna just name the names because I'm not trying to get thing, but I'm just saying this: them rabbis. All right, I'm just gonna put it like that. Had their hand on that dude. He was not a Christian at all. He believed in Marxism. All right. His name was actually Michael King.
Michael,
right?
He changed it. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, look, a lot of these guys are down with, all right, the government, and they were down with certain groups that meant our people no good. I will even say, going back to even who was the Haitian guy?
Oh shit. I
Oh,
know everybody knows who you're talking about. They'll put it in the chat.
yeah, I keep forgetting his name. He himself was controlled opposition. Now, if you want to go all the way back to someone like Nat Turner, that guy, look, that guy was legitimate. That was a legitimate guy. All right, as far as I know. But I'm gonna even say this, like some of these people that you think are heroes, like, and I don't want to. It's not about offending. It's about telling the truth.
Yeah.
Maya Angelou. Some people are not gonna like this. Who was the one that was supposedly freeing the slaves down in the South?
Harriet Tubman.
Harriet Tubman. She was an agent for the damn North, man. All right. And I've looked up the information going back 10 years ago. A lot of these people that you see that were spoken of well, especially if you consider the people that are in power your enemy. Why the hell would they get? They're giving you certain people as heroes,
right?
And there you see these Creflo Dollars and these TD Jakes and these TD Snakes and and Al Sharpton and all these other guys. Yeah, these guys are bought and paid for. That's why they're out there as influencers. The reason why they're influencers because they're pushing a certain agenda that they want you to follow.
Right.
And I'm just speaking off of information and understanding that I know and stuff that I've experienced, even with the Israelite community just alone, right? I'm gonna just say this: anybody that knows anything, and I'm not gonna name these clowns names, and I'm not gonna name these clowns names, but any of those top leaders, all right, that you see, those top groups that you see that wear fancy colors and big groups, and I'm not saying all of them because I'm a one man show. You might see me out there, and you might see it's about the sincerity, the sincere, true guys, right? Those guys are bought and paid for. I've exposed that before. I came directly at them guys, all right, and. I'm one guy that's really an enemy towards those mainstream media type dudes, man, that are in my community. And certain people, and look, when you do that, I'm gonna say this: when you do that, you become an enemy to people that follow these people that think they're these prophets that they claim to be.
Right.
And that's cool. That's cool because even if you go into any literature, even with the scriptures or whatever literature you go to, you always know that the person that's doing the right thing is going to be hated by the masses. That's just how it's supposed to be. Because there's I would say there's 95% idiots, and there's 5% 5 to maybe 1% intelligent. And we just got to call it what it is. A lot of people are sheep. A lot of people follow the herd mentality. It's just what it is, and that's a big problem in our community because we are so dependent on finding that one man. And it's not that every man. A lot of men are flawed. Don't get it twisted. We're all flawed. We all have issues. We all have things that we can get better at. But there are certain men that are have no problem compromising at all, to the point where they will compromise their own people for that damn dollar. I'm gonna say this: don't underestimate. Some of these motherfuckers will do excuse my language, but some of these guys will do anything for $1, and it's just a fact, man.
What's your take on Al Sharpton?
Oh, that dude's was he CIA? Oh yeah, he's an agent, man.
Well,
he was one of the guys that got Martin Luther set up for that for that shot, man. And that's well known.
Yeah, he's definitely an informant. But the irony is that he's still invited. He's an invited guest into our community. I don't understand how he's an invited guest. I mean, I hate to throw but he was James Brown right hand man, and let's be honest, James Brown was a
Mm.
bad guy.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know he made that song "I'm Black and I'm Proud," and it wouldn't be a world without a woman, and those are very inspiring songs. But James
Yeah.
Brown was a
He was something.
he was a doozy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, no, yeah. I mean, and don't get it twisted. I mean, you know, and I look, we love Ali, and I think that Ali was sincere in what he did, but I don't know if whether he knew it or not, he was being used as a puppet. You know, even him. You
Yeah,
know, well, and it's not like some of these guys know exactly, but sometimes these guys get involved in things that they think is something beneficial to the people, but what it is, right? What it is, they get used, and whether
right,
they know it or not, and maybe they know it, they figure it out later on. Sometimes the damage is so insurmountable. It's hard to come back from it, and
right.
that's a sad thing. Now, one thing I do want to say too, like with like some of like you have I'm trying to lost my train of thought here, but as far as you know, these agents of the government, you would be surprised, man. Like people talk about, and don't get it twisted. It's not like some of these guys don't have information and knowledge that you can't share,
Right.
right? And I believe in it, like in the scriptures, right, or the extended aspects of the scriptures. It tells you if you learn something from somebody, take it and add it unto thee. There's nothing wrong with learning something from somebody. That's how you grow. It
Right.
doesn't even matter if it's your damn enemy. But reverencing a lot of these guys, man, you would be very surprised. And we're in the information age. We're in the age of that great awakening. We have been for the last damn near 9-10 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. I think it's more time for the independent Black men and women and children to understand what their true heritage is for themselves, and to do research on everybody. Hell, do research. Look, even with me saying what I'm saying, do research on me. Make sure that I'm not some agent of the government too.
Right.
And I gotta put it like that, because you can't. I'm not saying you can't trust anybody, but I'm saying that you have to use discretion. You have to use a certain level of intelligence, and you have to use a certain level of wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
All right, as you walk, because if you walk with no wisdom, you'll fall for anything. You might think something's good. You might think somebody that you believe is good,
Right.
but that particular person might be leading you and your people to you know, off the damn deep end, man, into that damn ditch.
Right.
And I'm just saying, I've seen it, I've studied it, and I've seen it for myself, you know. And my thing is, I don't look what I do, my ministry, what I do, it's a one-man show, and I'll keep it like that.
Why did you separate from the Hebrew Israelites?
Oh, well, I'm an Israelite. Don't get it twisted. But as far as if you're talking about the groups,
The group, yes.
I separated from them because they just, you know, when you have like a large group of men, right, that have a certain agenda, and you know, a lot of times, like if you're not down with their agenda, they will put you in a very hostile environment to the point where you're gonna either they're gonna kick you out or you're gonna leave on your own. And that's what happened with me. Now, I'm not saying that there's certain things I haven't done that wasn't, and you know, these groups, I mean, you know, certain things with inner workings with certain people, because certain people are just sincere and certain people are just there, right? But I will say this, I did notice in kind of decipher certain things that I knew about some of these leaders, and some of these leaders I actually had direct contact with, and figured out, like, and I'm gonna just call it what it is. Like, you know, one of the groups, I mean, this, you know, what we believe in, we shouldn't be messing with no damn black conscious, those coons, and I'm just gonna call them what they are, because that's what they are. No, you want to talk about agents? I saw Netta. You know about Sonetta, right? One of
Yeah.
my best friends in the community exposed this dude. I mean, I got the pictures right on this damn hard drive of this dude sitting up here saying that, yeah, I work for the FBI and I used to work for Giuliani. I mean, this is the leaders you got in the Black conscious community, right? And all them guys. I mean, Reggie. I mean, Polite been an agent. I mean, how do you get off shooting somebody in the face, getting no time, and then you're out here making all kinds of money? SETI, same thing. You know, all them guys. It is what it is. But with that being said, and mind you, there's another brother. I'm not even going to mention his name. LDBC cat that told me about them guys before I even became an Israelite myself. You know, it was back in 2013. He actually put me on game of how wicked them guys were in the Black conscious community to begin with. All right. But the point being though, as far as the Black conscious community themselves, they're evil as hell. So when I saw the group that I was a part of, right, and I kept telling them for years, I kept telling the whole Israelite community, I put the whole Israelite community on game. Do not fuck with these guys. These guys are agents, and yet a lot of these groups, and this is how I know these guys were government or controlled opposition. Kept messing with these guys. In the group I was just a part of, like a couple years ago, kept messing with them, and accepted a war from this fool Sonetta. And I got mad at this dude. I called him directly, had a whole hour-long conversation arguing with this dude. Like, why would you do some BS like that? There are many brothers and sisters in the community that was not happy with that, me included. You know, so I mean, things like that shows you that those guys are agents. So I was like, man, I had to leave these guys alone.
All right, we got a beam in. What's up, Zoe?
What's going on with you?
Hey, how you doing? What's popping?
Oh, I'm doing good. Peace, peace to everybody.
I
was gonna wait for the gentleman to get done, or did you want me to go ahead?
He's done. Go ahead. All you.
Oh, okay. Well, I wanted to you know, I hear what the gentleman is saying, and I hear what I see the picture. You know, I wanted to call in and defend you know, Mr. Muhammad and his teachings.
Sure.
And you know, I kind of also wanted to defend Mr. Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and these individuals also. I understand what people say. You know, I used to have those type of feelings in regards to, you know, Mr. Jackson and Mr. Sharpton. But I think that at the end of the day, we have to understand, we have to put into perspective the time, the political times and the generation in which those people came. If you understand the boomers at that time, that's more so what that generation was about getting in, you know, being the first generation that will be basically being the first generation of Black America that didn't live under Jim Crow. To me, that's what their generation was about trying to be in the system. You know, Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, that it was about trying to get in the system and working within the system to advance the plight or the condition of your people. And I think at that time, you know, you had to understand that you know, not a lot was known at that time, and that we come to find out that when you get into the system, or when you get into somebody else's society, that system or that society eventually changes. So I mean I understand that the attitudes, you know, you have people that's, you know, again, that don't agree with social integration, you know, don't agree with the big five, you know, as you had people at that time when those people walked the earth that didn't agree with social integration, that didn't agree with the way civil rights was going, that didn't agree with the legacy of the people he left, like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. But I mean, I look at that different. I don't necessarily look at them guys' ages. I just look at it, it was a belief at one time in the culture that, you had to get in, you had to, get within these positions of power under these different people, get within, positions of playing ball with these entities. And it was started at one time that you could get in and you could change things from within. And you have a lesson now in hindsight that system really changes you, and it forces you to do certain things. Now, in regards to Mr. Muhammad, I see you had this picture up there, and like I said before, I see that you are, I guess, not a fan of his in regards to the fallout with Minister Malcolm X and the illegitimate children that Mr. Muhammad fathered by his secretaries or whatnot. But I mean, I look at it like this. I feel like as far as for mainstream Black America, I feel like that was Elijah Muhammad and his program. Mr. Muhammad, his program was one of the best things to happen to Black American culture. Now, as far as the acceptance, that's never been something that has been accepted. You never had mainstream Black American culture has always had like a white bottom line. So Black Islam has never been something that has been accepted by the mass. But I think as far as his program, what he tried to do, it was one of the best things that could have happened for us as a people. I think that the problem with it was the inheritance part. I think that if Warren Dean Muhammad would have did the right thing, because like I said, everything wasn't perfect about his, about as far as the organization. And when I say the plan, I just mean on paper. I don't mean actually what might have happened, what might have not happened, but I mean just strictly on paper. I'm saying that when Warren Dean Muhammad came, into power, instead of him taking what his father had built and evolving, cultivating it and fashioning it into something better, to me, you tear down what was left to you, and then you send your followers right back into American society. It just I just feel like you never really got the fruition of that because of Warren Dean and what he thought was right. So I think that's why I think a lot of times with us, and that you have problems. I really felt that Malcolm X was wrong. I felt that Malcolm X was a great man, was a great leader, was a great mind, but he was being petty. To go against your teacher in that way, and to kind of like cap about certain things and to go about something that could have really been easily squashed and you could have moved on was kind of wrong on his end. I just, I'm just after reading Mr. Muhammad's works and his teachings and looking at what we have as a culture, as a people in 2022. I just don't think that I don't see how you can see what, the wrong. I think that the good in the direction and what he brought to us as a people, what he tried to bring to our women, even if you say, well, he did these children, but he still put a cover and he still put a culture of dignity on our women.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Go ahead, finish.
Hey.
Mute your phone real quick. Go ahead. I'll bring you in a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that that's all I wanted to say. I just feel like that, if we compare what we have right now in 2022, the just the culture that we have at this point, our knowledge of procreation, our knowledge of how to pick, husband and wives, our knowledge of economics, our knowledge of diet, our knowledge of just how to treat each other with respect. A lot of those problems that we have that we're complaining about constantly on social media, they were going before the world, constantly expressing these issues. We were already brought those answers, by people in the past. Now, was Elijah Muhammad, was he a false prophet? Did he say prophecies that was not right? Yes, he did. But like I said before, to me, it was still all, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now.
While
But
you're thinking,
go ahead.
While you're thinking that, I'm going to play Elijah Muhammad's son from his second set of kids, man. He got damn near over 30 kids, man. And I want you to answer this.
Keep my father's secret at that time because
I'm
the oldest. I had to keep my father's secret at that time because I'm the oldest son from the second set. So at that time, I was born at the time when Malcolm was a problem, Brother Malcolm was a problem. And, at that time, it really was a very difficult time to be one of my father's children from other than Mother Clara Muhammad, because they were using that as a weapon against him. And I'm actually old enough to remember calls from Malcolm to my mother, Brother Malcolm to my mother, and things like that. So that's the only thing that was slightly difficult, that we had to keep my father's relationship to a secret. If you can imagine going to the mosque, the first thing they ask you is, who is your father?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Now, the rule number one to fatherhood is taking care of what you create. I don't give a fuck. You're graded on your seeds. I don't give a fuck what your teachings are. I don't give a fuck how many beautiful cars you got. Y'all think 50 Cent is a hero, but 50 Cent bailed out on his son. Y'all call 50 Cent great, right? Now, when you look at it from a pragmatic standpoint, yeah, along the way, a man is going to tell the truth and do positive things. Point well said. But when you use the Quran, when you use the Bible, you use terms like things have evolved. Well, the Quran didn't evolve. The Bible didn't evolve. It's the same word. So for you to come on and say we've evolved and this is what we needed, the Bible hasn't changed. The Quran hasn't changed. And the lack of accountability that you have for a man that you believe is closer to God than you is your fault, is your problem. And all I got to do is replace one of those wives with your daughter, and you'll have a completely different opinion. All I got to do is replace one of those women with your mother. All I got to do is replace one of those women with your nieces. You will be ballistic. A 15-year-old woman having sex with a 63-year-old man is sick. That's rape. A man should be in jail for that. And for a grown man to defend a rapist is sick on all levels, whether it's the Quran, whether it's the Bible, whether you're an atheist, whether you're agnostic. It doesn't matter. We defend shit for our comfort level. You're defending a man because he makes you feel good when you read it and you feel like you're doing the right thing. That's why we do it, because it makes you feel good. Whether it's right or wrong, it makes you feel good. Why do people get high? It makes them feel good. Why do women wear half naked? Because the likes make them feel good. Why are people supporting Elijah Muhammad? Because it makes them feel good. They're not talking about truth. They're talking about what makes them feel good. And that's the hump that we have to get over. But we're going to carry this narrative and say, you know what? He was right. So was Judas. So was Saul before he became Paul. So was Peter. Oh yeah, they did some right things. Yeah, but they killed thousands of Christians. And I think that's where the problem lies. We're so emotionally attached to our leader instead of the truth. You're literally coming to me and said, man, this man wrote some books. He wrote some guidelines that came from Marcus Garvey. First of all, it's the same spiel Marcus Garvey gave. So when people say, oh, he's led hundreds of thousands of men, they said there was in 1960s. You got to listen to this. In 1960s, there was 22 million black people on this planet. I'll give the Nation of Islam 250,000 followers. That's 1% of the black people in America, man. So all of this has been falsified in terms of the amount of people he reached, what he did. He didn't do it. How could he do it if the man say he got bronchitis and he can't speak, but he's in Arizona fucking all these women? He's in Chicago. He got hiding spots. The man got apartment buildings. Clara Muhammad left and went to go move in with her son in Baltimore and in Cairo. Not what's one of those countries in Africa. I can't recall off the top of my head right now. So if the homemaker, if the wife leaves, why do people sit here defending this man if the wife leaves? And I think that's where we go wrong. I'll allow you to respond, but the gentleman been waiting on the phone for a second. Go ahead, 864.
Hey, so this Ryan, I think it's on the captive believer to set himself free. Like if you here's the thing, like to you, like Elijah Muhammad's a nasty old man, but like to some people he's the messenger of God. So like this is the way I look at it, like it's on the captive believer to set themselves free. Like, and like let me explain what I mean by that. Like here's in like to me, like I don't believe in him, but like people that do, like they believe in him. Like so like when you're like dealing with like the person who believes like the messenger of God, right? You're willing to like take their bullshit. Like when I was like doing my research on the topic, like Farrakhan in like a 2010 oral history interview, he said this. He was like asked, he was talking about Malcolm. He said, how can I judge Elijah Muhammad's life when I believe he's a messenger of God? Which is like basically what Jeremiah said when I read his book. He basically said the same thing. So like that's basically when it comes to like religion, like people are willing to accept like stuff from their leaders, like they wouldn't allow themselves to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like now like yeah, it's very complicated to explain, but that's basically why I say what you got. Like you can go back, the other guy you had on, you can like talk real quick if you want to respond to what you just said.
Yeah, I mean, well, thank you, but let me respond. This is what I wanted to say. Now, again, I don't know. I heard you sis. You talked about statutory rape. You know, now I've never
just said it.
Let me just finish. Let me finish one time, sir.
Sure.
This is the thing about it. This is why I said that we have to take in consideration. That's why I used the example of where we're at as Black Americans in 2022. Where we're at as a culture now. Now you said about the women and about his son. I said, well, as far as I'm concerned, not to defend his actions, his side women were better wives than we have now in 2022. I've never seen Sister Clara Muhammad get up there and twerk her booty. I never seen her get up there and cuss. She's always presented herself as a respectable woman, a knowledgeable woman, a woman of the woman of arts, a woman of science, a woman of knowledge. So to me, his side women, his so-called side women, his so-called the so-called hoes of his are better women that are better wives than we have walking around today, as women. He built better side women than Black men today have built wives. So I don't know anything about that. I never, because to me, Lucille was in her 30s. And all the women that he had, I never seen any proof. Evelyn has never come out, no proof of Evelyn being underage. No proof of Ola being underage. No proof of June, Tynetta, Bernique. None of these women have come back as being under. I've never seen it. And at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying, as far as having women and this type of thing. And he was wrong in his personal life for doing that. He was wrong for doing that in his personal life. But at the end of the day, I'm saying what we have now as a culture, what we have now in regards to our homes, in regards to our ability to pick wives and husbands, in regards to our knowledge of procreation, in regards to all those things, it's in the dumps. It's in the trash.
Right.
The man bought a better culture of courting, of dating, of pick. It's not even a comparison. The knowledge of what that man brought of that's our fault. That's mainstream Black America's fault. When in the 60s and the 70s, the baby boomers and that type of stuff, they chose the drugs, they chose the partying, they chose what they chose, and that's I'm strictly saying on paper, he bought a better culture for us to live by than what we have now in 2022. It's just what it is. It's just the facts.
Yeah, side bitches
It's just the facts.
Man. Nah, man, come on, man. Your side.
Hold on.
No.
Tynetta a better woman? Is Tynetta Muhammad a better woman than what you have now walking around? Have you seen Tynetta twerk her booty? Have you seen Tynetta? Have you seen Tynetta?
Can I respond?
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you have a side bitch, you're partying. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You can call it what you want. It's wrong, man. According to the Quran, he's handing you the Quran and saying, "Give me money and give me your woman, but I'm not going to raise my kids. My kids are going to be raised by single mothers." Not only that, I'm going to tell my parishioners, because he says he is God in the flesh. Man, let me play these clips, man, because love you, dog. You can go back up. I got you. You can go back up. Yeah, I'm not gonna pull it. No, we need this visual effect because this man is lost.
I heard Messenger. I never heard.
Well, don't worry. I got you because you're lost, just like you're lost. And I'm not speaking to you because you're gonna go back and put your bow tie on and do what you're gonna do, and that's okay. But I'm talking to the next generation that's gonna watch this video 50 years from now. Listen to this.
Not a prophet, yes, sir, but I represent to you God in person. Yes,
let's hear it again.
To you, not a prophet, yes, sir, but I represent to you God in person. Yes.
God in person. So all this shit, he's the messenger. He did this for people. The man robbed you and lied to you. He is God in person, but he laid in the casket. He's God in person, but he's afraid to tell the people that he's controlling that he has 20 kids outside of his marriage. Oh, but he's God in person. See, these motherfuckers are so brainwashed. Tynetta. Tynetta was a hoe. She wasn't married to the man. Matter of fact, she's not even buried next to him. No.
Listen, I understand, sir. But again, we made better hoes than you have to do.
If you're not, I didn't cut you off. So we gonna play by the same rules. I'm not. Nah. So the point I'm making is this: we can say what we can dress it up as well as we want it. You can eat pig feet, you can eat bacon, you can eat pork chops, you can eat pulled pork. It's still pork. You can bake it, you can fry it, you can eat it raw. It's still pork. And that's the problem that we have. We dressing the pig up and we say it's not pig, it's a beautiful woman. It's not a beautiful woman. It's not. And we're tricked and we're bamboozled and we're hoodwinked. And by the time these dudes wake up, they're broke. Where's the church that he said where's the church? Where's the hospital he's supposed to build? Where's the water source? Where's the money? Where's the farms? It's nowhere to be found. And the reason why the nation failed is because those women and all those kids wanted a piece of the pie for keeping this human secret because he was taking care of them. The same way he was doing with Tyanetta, Farrakhan. The same way he's doing with Ola Hughes, Farrakhan. All these shits are facts. But these motherfuckers want to come on and say that, no, if you tell the truth and stop be a man about it. These motherfuckers won't be men about it. Oh, well, if you read chapter 33, verse 17, it says you can have, well, if these are your wives, acknowledge your kids. What man hides his wife? Anyways, man, feel free. I think we're on. I'll let Ryan go ahead and respond, Ryan, if you want to respond. Anyone else want to be in, man?
I'm gonna let y'all two finish it out. I might call in like later. I'll let y'all two finish it out. But...
All right, peace, man.
All right,
yep. Peace. All right, Zoe, all you, man.
My bad for cutting you off, sir.
No worries. Go ahead.
No. I understand what you're saying. You know, I understand what you're saying because I think the God in the flesh thing is kind of being taken out of context. You know, he taught that the black man was God, and you know, but that's neither here nor there. I understand what you're saying as far as the truth. I'm not defending the side women and all the babies. I'm saying this. I'm saying that I'm strictly giving an observation, and I'm saying that if I had a choice, because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, if you're gonna pick a man, because we just had Kevin Samuels, a lot of people look at Kevin Samuels as the new guy, the new guy, and put him up on the pedestal. He was the last guy the man that people wanted to follow, right? I'm saying that at the end of the day, as a people, if a man come that can capture the people, as a people, we're gonna go for that man. It's just what it is. I guess maybe that's just how we're programmed. I'm saying that Elijah Muhammad, Mr. Muhammad, as far as what he brought to the culture. Now, what he might have did in his personal relationship, you can't tell me that every man on the earth that might have come to reform, to be a reformer among his people, was perfect in their personal life. It's not the case. It's not the case world over. You can't. I mean, I don't care what group of people, what ethnic group of people you go to. If you look at their heroes, the heroes in their personal lives had problems. It's just like if you look at the person they consider the father of modern China. The Chinese people still hold that man up. Now that man partially was a homicidal, genocidal maniac, but they still give honor and praise to that man as for what they have now as a people. And I'm saying that with Elijah Muhammad, the women didn't bring down his work. His son brought down his work. His son brought down that man's work. It wasn't. And at the end of the day, I'm not trying to dress anything up. If we in 2022, right, and we having all these problems in the home, if it's to the point now where black men and black women don't even want to deal with each other, you moving into a point where I gotta go get me a white woman, I gotta go get me a white man. Divest. All these you're seeing a snowball effect of things growing. Oh, divest. Oh, get you. Oh, these black women ain't nothing. Get you this. Get you that. So we're going past the point of not even want to deal with each other. Period, because of the culture, the domestic culture that we have. I'm saying that whatever you can say about this man, he still brung a better culture. You could call Mother Tynetta a hoe, but she was still better than what you have now as wives. Her morals, her values, everything was still better than what you have now. At the end of the day, it was still better. And you saying that, well, he didn't take care of all his kids. He still left a better culture of living to his, even though he was absent in some of the sad kids' lives, he still left a better culture of living to them. It's just what it is. You had it. At the end of the day, what was better? Because at the end of the day, we the people that we end up elevating over us, the people now, that have the minds right now is the people with the biggest clout right now are the rappers, are the people in hip hop. And these people have led us into more of a destroyed thinking, a destroyed self-destructive living, a destroyed self-destructive eating, and everything else, morals, minds, and values, than anything that Elijah Muhammad could have did for us.
Okay.
20 times, sir.
Okay.
So that's all I wanted to say.
All right. Are you done?
Am I lying? Is my I just want to say my point getting clear
No.
to what I'm saying?
I'm gonna respond to you. You said Warif D. Muhammad ruined Elijah Muhammad. No, Elijah Muhammad's dick ruined the fucking problem. His lust for women was the motherfucking problem. 28 kids going to get that money wasn't the problem. The lack of fatherhood in our community is the motherfucking problem. The fact that Elijah Muhammad wasn't a motherfucking father was the problem. The fact that he wasn't a father to Warif D. Muhammad is the motherfucking problem. The fact that he wasn't a husband to his wife is the motherfucking problem. That's the problem. We're talking about the reaction. Why don't we just stick to the truth? And when people got to understand and see, they finagle truth and they bend it to make us believe that he was the savior. Well, let me tell y'all motherfuckers something. In 1865, we had our own farms. In 1865, we had our own water source. The Chesapeake Bay was our water source. Do you guys understand that shit? But what happened was they said the Negro League was our own source. The ABA was our own source. But you know what they did? They said, hey, Jackie, if we can get Jackie to come over and play with us and convince these people that instead of ownership, we can turn you into celebrities. Hey, we can do it. So Jackie, hey, Branch Rickey, call Jackie. Jackie came over and it was a success. Next thing you know, it's integration. Next thing you know, we at the bottom of the totem pole all over again. And you know what they put in front of us? Motherfuckers like Elijah Muhammad. Motherfuckers like Al Sharpton, Creflo Dollar, Eddie Long. So if the motherfucker's saying he's God, you heard the man say he's God. Give me a second, 904. I'll let you respond. The man said he's God in the flesh. If he's God in the flesh, how can he have flaws? I repeat, the man said he's God in the flesh. How can he have flaws? See, it changes. It changes from person to person. But the truth is the truth. You judge a man on his word and his actions. We have the word and we have the actions. But guess what? We don't believe in God like we say we do because we put a man in between us and God. The dumbest thing ever. The dumbest thing ever you can do is have another man curate your spiritual relationship. The church and the mosque is supposed to be for congregation. Church is in the motherfucking home, your temple. Do we understand that shit? Fatherhood would have changed this whole narrative. If Elijah Muhammad would have been busy being a father instead of being a motherfucking pimp, and if these rappers' fathers would be fathers in the home instead of running, if we don't glorify, hey, I'm gonna see if my son will fight this person in the middle of the street, so I'm gonna do a challenge today. We falling for this fucking okie doke, man. I got two people that want to be, man, because I can keep on running, but I'm gonna let the caller come in. I got you next, Nate, and I'll bring in Kane. What's up? Go ahead. 904.
Hey, Fred, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, bro?
All right. Hey, man, I'm pretty busy, so I catch you on YouTube and a lot of other brothers all the time, but I stay busy working all the time.
Thank you.
And I hear this topic y'all talking on, and I'm gonna give you a little story just for you to think about. My daddy
You'll never forget.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
my daddy, back when he was growing up, and his mothers and aunts, they kind of pushed him towards, listening to the Islam and the Muslims. So he kind of joined on with that, and it made him a hell of a man. And I got 4 brothers and I got 1 sister, and he brought us up. And you asked where the farm. I'm on the farm right now. All right. I got cattle outside right now eating. He influenced us a whole lot. So, man, everybody got a lot of dirt on him, but the message that he did give, a lot of people got a lot of benefit out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So, we got to keep that in mind too. I never been to jail. I don't know what drugs even. I don't even know what a drug look like. I never seen it, never cared about it. You know what I'm saying? I always had my father, family close, mother close. We all tight to this day. None of us criminals. So that's my experience and that's my story. So just like you got all this other stuff on one hand, I'm just sharing my story, and that's all I got.
Appreciate you for calling in. Thank you.
All right.
All right. What's up, Nate? Go ahead, Nate.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, go ahead, Nate. What's up?
Yeah, man. Look, I appreciate you for having me on, Fred. The barbershop conversations. Look, Fred, this is a great channel to, just speak your mind, talk about whatever you want. And, today's topic is about, Elijah Muhammad. And we all know the truth, man. If Elijah Muhammad was truly the savior of our people, the melanin people, let's be honest, he would be dead. He would have been dead, Fred, or they would have deported him. Look at all the real people that's trying for real change. What happened to them, Fred? What happened? You know the answer to that, Fred? They were either stabbed by their own people, subjugated, infiltrated by the government, and destroyed from within, and disposed of, or deported. How come they know that hasn't happened to them? I don't want that to happen, but how come? Can you answer me that? Can anybody answer me that question right there? They're still around. They're doing their own thing freely, if I might add. They truly fought for the freedom and to take away the suppression of our people. How come we haven't seen anything the government has done to them? I'm not saying that the government, I would want that, but it's just truth. Look, history has shown us truth that when you truly are fighting for real change, you're a threat to the establishment. The establishment themselves will come for you. And there's a lot of evidence that shows that. Yet they have left them untouched completely. Almost as if they don't mind it.
Right.
I don't know. Something's funny about that. I think that's a little interesting. I think a lot of people gonna call it conspiracy theories. That's something the FBI created. That word conspiracy theory, the FBI created that. You can find that. You can look that up. They created that as well. But it's not a coincidence. Not when they have been around for so long. A lot of tragedies has happened, and they haven't stood up and got some shit done. I can name a lot of powerful people who have actually got some shit done, and some of the things they have done is still used today, but they're long gone and forgotten. So, unfortunately, Fred, we got this thing called where people believe a lot of lies. They don't do their research. They see people that look like them, and they fall for it. That's why false prophets. That's a real thing, and people. It's funny that our people still go for the okie doke. I want to hear from you. Why do some of us still go for the okie doke?
Slavery. You need a master. You need a leader. And the fact that we don't have self-confidence. It is like when a confident man that truly believes himself is called arrogant. A man that's going to believe himself through and through is called arrogant. It's awful that this society has led us to believe that we can't make it. by ourselves. We're not fully equipped. In order for us to be fully equipped, a man or a woman has to bring us closer to God.
Right.
Whether they read it, the Bible or the Quran, or whether we read it, it has the same words in it.
You know, Fred, I think that when you have leaders that use religion, that tells you all you need to know about them.
Mm-hmm.
If you look up the history of religion, where it started with Christianity, and even before that, the dogma.
Right, dogma.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It tells you all you need to know. They use religion back before Christ, basically as a form to control the masses, the people.
Right.
That
Right.
if I want these people to come over and to my land, I'm gonna basically promote this God. And if I want the people to do this, I want them to promote this God. And they'll do it, especially if it's for their own salvation.
Right.
And there's no difference here. It's no difference. It's really not much of a difference at all. And it's sad that a lot of people can't see through that. I don't know if it's cognitive dissonance. I don't know what it is, but it's a lot of mental health issues with that, in my opinion. Sometimes when people go through trauma, they look for somebody to save them. And you know, it's nothing wrong with looking for an answer somewhere, but sometimes you have to be careful and protect yourself. Because
Right.
you could be led astray. It's very easy to be led astray when you got a lot of people like Elijah Muhammad, Louis Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, a lot of the people who use a lot of these melanin celebrities as like gods and people to save them. But let's be honest, they're sheep in wolves' clothing.
Right. Right. No,
And they're all in for their own game. They all been exposed in the last several years. Malcolm X has exposed them as well. The ballot of the bullet.
right. Great speech. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And if I'm gonna bring in Kane, if then Kyle, you want to add something?
Yeah, I won't be. I can't be. I probably miss more of the show, but I just want to tap in just to touch bases with you real quick. I think this is a great topic. I think that we should talk about this more often. As men, I think that we need to take advantage of these conversations and grow from them. I'm excited for the conversation, man. I feel like if you're in charge of people's faith, I think that you should be held to a higher standard. And I think, for me personally, you know what I'm saying, I can't answer for everybody, but I believe that you cannot allow a man to misuse your faith and use it for an excuse. You know what I'm saying? You got to pick up that Bible, that Quran, or whatever you believe in. You got to pick it up and read it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And know the truth. You know, the Bible says, "Thy word have I hid in my heart." So you got to hide in your heart for yourself. You can't allow somebody else to hide it for you. You got to know it for yourself. So in order to grow, you got to read it for yourself. People get too caught up in people's charisma that they forget about the book. You know what I'm saying? They get so enamored with the person that's giving them the word that they forget that they got to pick up that book themselves. You know what I'm saying? And, we all been guilty of it. But I think that the person that's in charge of your faith is you. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta do what you gotta do to grow. You know what I'm saying? But we also gotta hold these people accountable. The Bible says, judge a man by their fruit that they bear. And if the tree ain't bearing no fruit, they cut it off and cast it away.
Right.
So we gotta do the same thing with these religious leaders that, you gotta do the same things with these religious leaders that use religion to get the best of the people. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're not investing in the community, you're a liability. You know what I'm saying? So you open up the doors of the church just to have church and get money. Is this to the community? I've been a part of some great churches personally.
All right, we're losing you.
I have.
Okay, there you go.
Man, hold on, let me see if I can move around. Am I here now? You can get me now?
Yeah, go ahead. I got you in a second, Hannibal. Kane's gonna go.
Yeah. No, I've been a.
Nah, we'll have to come back to you. I'm gonna kick you out. What's up, Kane?
What's going on, bro?
Hey, how you feel?
I feel good. Honestly, bro, I had two things.
Uh-huh.
The only thing I appreciate the respectful discussion you guys are having. The only thing I gotta say to Zoe is nothing disrespectful. It's just I don't understand why you're defending someone that just they wouldn't defend you. Like at the end of the day, like Elijah Muhammad, if you were in trouble, he wouldn't help you. And the other way around, like I feel like you could only help people that really would help you out as well. So like you're like breaking your back and defending this guy, like going through this whole discussion when Elijah Muhammad wouldn't do the same for you. I mean that with no disrespect. And then Fred, my other thing was I wanted to honestly give you kudos and respect for what you posted the other day about the Stephen Jackson and Charleston White. Because honestly, what Charleston White said to you was disrespectful, and you didn't have to go out of your way and post that video about what this guy said about.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm super. Charleston White said to you is disrespectful, and I don't respect what he said. So honestly, it's kudos to you and respect to that, bro.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, giving full truth to the people, regardless of personal issues or anything.
Right.
That's how it
Right.
should be.
Appreciate if the panel want to stay on, you guys are more than welcome. I'm bringing Deacon on them. We'll go around, Zoe. You can gladly respond. We'll just go around and then we'll see if we get everybody in by like 9:30, 9:35. All right. Go ahead, Deacon.
Hey man, what's good? Too blessed to be stressed and highly favored. Salute to the brothers.
Hey.
And I just want to say to the young man that just got through speaking, although you did not mean disrespect, it was highly disrespectful. I don't know if you know that Elijah Muhammad is no longer with us, so I don't know who he can defend in depth. And for you to say that, you would have to know the man. You know what I'm saying? So you were very you was out of order with that. And that's why I say sometimes certain conversations don't have to be had with people who don't understand the struggle, don't come from the struggle. If you're not going to bring and add value to it, don't come and cause a hindrance. Don't come and be a problem, because that's not accepted. And I thought it was highly disrespectful. And I say that with all due respect to you.
I take that with full respect to you.
Yes. And I want to add on to what Kyle said about bearing fruit. Elijah Muhammad bared a lot of fruit, and that fruit is yet still prospering today. You got the young bucks are thriving, innovators. I mean, coming through. I'm gonna mention one of them. He just blows my mind, and that's young Ben X. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of other brothers. You know what I'm saying? All these brothers are doing what they're supposed to do. They're standing upright. And when you're talking about God in the flesh, understand what it means. And we don't want to twist that. What we're dealing with is the resurrection of the mind from a dead level to a living level of thinking. If you don't understand that you come from a great God, then how do you know that you are great? The God that's in me and you, brother, is a great God. So when God is coming in the flesh, he's manifesting in the flesh. When Jesus came, God manifested in the flesh. And if Jesus is our brother, God is our Father, we are in the image of our Father, the Creator. The body is the temple of God, which houses the Spirit of God, the greatness of God. Greater that's he that is in me, that's in this world, on this planet. So we don't want to misconstrue the message and understand the message that Elijah taught was a great message because he come from a great God, God in the flesh. So when we understand the message, then we can come from a dead level and then begin to stand perpendicular and stop walking with a hump in our back, with our backs broken and bent over. Stand upright like men.
I love to see the FOI and the fruit of it. I mean, these brothers, man, let me tell you, bro, my brother, both of my brothers, they are Muslims. Me, I go by no titles. I am a spiritual son of God. I believe that to me, the reason why I don't go by titles, because I believe it creates division. I come from a place, I mean, in a square block, you might got about 13 churches. And if you don't go to that church, then they don't represent you. And I don't believe in that. All of you that look like me are my brothers and sisters. And I'm not going to let no titles cause me to not love you, not pray for you. That's how I move, because I know God for myself. And that's why I always stress, get a personal relationship with God. Knowledge in and of itself puffs up, brothers, like yeast to dough. You can read all the books you want to, but if you don't have a relationship with God, where you have testimonies of what God has shown you and done for you and through you and use you as an instrument. If you can't tell me about a relationship with God, then it's hard for you to come at me. Because when you say real, recognize real, the spiritual recognize the spiritual, bro. The spiritual anointed recognize the anointed ones. The spiritual third eye that I possess, you possess it too, but you have to tap into it. And how can you do that? You have to have a spiritual relationship with God. That's why when I pray, things happen. When I pray, things move. I have a relationship with my Father. And that's why I don't mind telling people about the goodness and the greatness of God, because that's what he requires me to do. He don't want me to hold him to myself, because in that is a sin. So I'm not going to beat down any man that has skeletons in his closet. What is the work that he's done? Does it outweigh the skeletons in his closet? The mission that God put him on. Do we see the fruit bear today? Yes. Even after he's dead and gone, the work is still alive, because God is yet alive in you and I, in the flesh, in this world. Amen. I love y'all. I just wanted to chime in, bruh. And I love y'all, and that'll never stop. I don't have no enemies. I do not strive to any. And if I have a issue with one of my brothers, believe me, I'm going to love you and pray for you, whether you know it or not. And I'm going to find a way to work it out with you. You can call me soft, call me what you want, but don't forget to call me a child of God, because I got love for you, bro, because God first loved me. And then I learned how to love by having a great lover in my life. God, man, our Father, the great one. And that's the page that we must get on. Let's quit finding reasons to bicker with each other and tear down each other and trying to tear down the works of God, because that's a dangerous road to travel. That's a dangerous road to travel, because God is nothing to play with. Because when he put one in the world to do as he acts, that's a dangerous road to travel, to try and get in the way of the works of God. Because that man was put on this earth to be put here for a specific reason, to raise up a dead people. These dry bones has to be resurrected, brother. It's time to raise up. Hey, man, I love y'all, man. I'm gonna sit back and listen to y'all some more, brother. I appreciate you, Fred, for letting me get in, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir.
All right, peace. I'll respond after everybody goes around. I'm gonna let Blu-ray get in, and after Blu-ray come in, we'll go 2 minutes, so we can have time to respond, so we can get back and forth. Hey, what's up, Blu-ray?
Fam, what's good with you?
Hey, I'm good, man.
And shout out to the whole shop, man. Everybody tapping in, man. I haven't been on too long. But I don't know. Did y'all touch on Creflo?
Oh, no, Phil. No, it's all you. We can go any direction you want. Go ahead.
No. I
Yeah,
didn't know if y'all touched on Creflo,
yeah.
but
Reintroduce him. We got more.
but I'm gonna come from a different perspective on Creflo Dollar, and the reason I'm coming from a different perspective is because I think about I commend him because he didn't have to put himself on a chopping block. He didn't have to, he didn't have to drop his pride, because when you say verbatim, he said, throw away every teaching that I spoke on and I taught on concerning this specific subject because I got it wrong. And it takes a lot for a man of his caliber, his stature, and the money to have the money he has to admit that he's wrong. And so he could have just kept taking people's money, deceiving people, or whatever it is, how people perceive his message. But any man that takes accountability when he feels like he's wrong, I commend that person. And I don't think that's an opportunity or a time to continue to tear him down when he's been vulnerable and admit, hey, man, I got it wrong. Because think about everybody watching, right? If we were to go back in our childhood when we were teenagers and we think about our mindset at that particular time when we were that age, the things and the standards that I have for my life now is no way in the world I would do those things now, the things that I used to do. So we have to, in my opinion, give each other grace when it's needed at times, depending on the individual. Now, if somebody just, if they're not coming from a pure heart, that's a different thing. But I honestly think that the man was coming from a pure heart, and I think that he needs to be extended grace and given the opportunity to get it right. Just my personal opinion.
Zoe, you want to respond in 2 minutes or less? Anywhere?
Well, no, I mean, like I said, I did want to respond to the Nate gentleman. I think that with certain things, we throw the baby out with the bathwater. I think that we are a people in great need of religion, great need of a moral and spiritual compass, great need of values, morals, and we're in need of the knowledge of God that has been brought upon by the Bible. If you look at the Black community now, and if you're looking at it with another lens than what we've been taught in our American culture, and you look at it from a different lens, our experience in America has become an everyday walk in evil, in filth, and in wickedness. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm such a not a follower but a fan of Mr. Muhammad, because he like not only did he teach us that we were a dead people, an absolute 100% walking, living, talking dead man and woman, but that also that the Black man was going to have to give up evil, and that one day that evil was going to destroy you, would destroy your homes. That we were going to invite the devil into our very homes, and that's the thing that we have done, man, as a people. You're from the Black community in California, and that's no longer existent. Black California did so much evil and so much decadence as a people that Black California was destroyed. Y'all had a good run, and now it's destroyed. Now the Mexicans have it. So I think that we need to really humble ourselves and stop throwing the baby out with the bathwater when we talk about religion. Because because it's proven that we were a better people when we believe, even though the Black church hasn't been perfect, we still were a better people when our forefathers and our foremothers believed in what they thought the Bible was about. At least it wasn't what we have now as a community, as far as dodging bullets and all this drunkenness and drug use and evil. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. Nate, go ahead, bro.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Sure. Go ahead and respond.
Yeah, I come from a different type of just philosophy and ideology on a lot of different things. Look, I grew up in a family that every Sunday we went to church. We didn't miss it. We didn't miss it. We didn't miss Bible study. We didn't miss the after Bible study. We didn't miss it. We didn't miss no after talks. We pretty much did everything by the book. Try to live a fruitful life of righteousness, but not self-righteousness. And for some people in my family, things turn for the worse because life. And no matter how many times we read that Bible from the back to the front, from the front to the back, life can take the turn of the worst for anybody. And that's something that wasn't necessarily taught through and through, even through the Bible. There are a lot of great lessons through the Bible and a lot of things that people still misinterpret it. But one thing I will say that I will not misinterpret and I will not miss upon is that the fact that those things, those books that we read have been edited. It has been edited. It has been edited for long before any of our great grandfathers and our great grandmothers have been on this planet for years. And it's not a secret that if we say we as a people are suppressed, then what about the information that we're given, even through religion? Wouldn't that be suppressed as well? So it goes back to what I said. We have to be careful where we get our information from, no matter what dogma, no matter what religion, no matter what. And I do agree with the guy that said that, about in terms not, religion, but in terms of faith, there's a lot of lack of faith going on. But look what's going on. Look what's preceded that. When everything was religion based, let's not forget one of the most religious and most peaceful people on the planet, before he died, said that he led us into a house that was on fire. What do you think that means? I'll let you read through the fine print. Again, we need to stop. We have to stop. We must stop looking up to every person that looks like us just because they made it out, because they have a platform and say they're our savior. That's the one. That's Superman. That's the Black Panther. That's the guy or that's the woman that's going to get us out of our troubles. Time and time again, it has failed. We have to look within ourselves. And like in the 40s and the 50s, even with religion that was very powerful, they looked within each other, their neighbors, themselves as well. And we've lost that fact. We don't trust each other no more like we used to.
Right.
That's a major problem. We don't.
Your 2 minutes is up, man. Let me get Blu-ray to respond. Then I'll respond. I'll take my 2 minutes. Go ahead, Blu-ray. Go ahead, Blu-ray. Blue, you want to double down?
No, I'm good, bro. I didn't have nothing else to say, man. I was just
Okay.
that was my only point I had to make, bro.
All right. Well, see you tomorrow.
All right.
Thank you, dog. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
bro.
All right, peace. And I actually had that thought for about 3 seconds when I saw the Creflo Dollar thing, and I was like, I think he was robbing the people prior to him announcing. I think he's being honest with his mortality. He's 60 years old. Shit, he don't know when he's leaving. So that's kind of Blu-ray gone. Let me get that. Oh, I want to respond to Deacon. I said ban. Oh shit. I pushed the wrong button, Blu-ray. I banned you. Fuck, my bad. I'll fix it later. Anyways, I think that we got to take people at their word. And when we're talking God, let's be candidly honest. If we're talking God, Yahshua, Jehovah, Jesus, Allah, God is not talking color of skin. God is not talking how much money you have in your bank account. God is not talking about how big is your house. He's talking about the righteous versus the unrighteous. There's no black section in heaven. There's no Mexican section in heaven. There's no white section in heaven. And I think when we have honest conversations about God, we have to eliminate our flawed interpretation of what religion and spirituality is. And I know I would say I'm a work in progress as it pertains to that. But yeah, similar to the way Mays, Freach, and Frank Beverly and Mays say, we are one. You can't convolute God's message with a human message. And that's where we go wrong. I think that when we're talking about God, there's no color in reality. In reality, there's no color. And 3, I'm going to take him at his word. Elijah Muhammad said, I am not a prophet. I am God in the flesh. Is in my opinion, there's my 2 minutes are up, 30 seconds. There's no reason to reinterpret it. And I think that's where we go wrong. I think a rapist is a rapist. In the Old Testament, they stoned them. In 2022, you go to jail. And my time is up. I'm gonna let Zoe, then I'll bring Deacon back on. Go ahead, Zoe, you want to respond? And I'll let Deacon come on if you want to respond to that.
Also, if you can, I don't know. I know you do a lot of research.
Mm-hmm.
If you could possibly, I know you said you had receipts. As far as the side women, if I've never seen any documentation in regards to these actual ages, I know I found, one of them on the actual census. You can easily Google her name and find her on the 1940 census, and she was 9 years old at the time. But like, if we could ask you, because I think that, if we're gonna tell the all the way truth, can we tell the all the way truth about things like you said?
Sure.
So that's all. That's all I wanted to say. You know what I'm saying? I think that I agree with the other gentleman. In regards to these guys, but I think that we just need reforms in regards to the church. We need it. When you get rid of, because to me, like I said, we're now living in a community, and as a country, period. That are hardcore nihilists and secular humanists. And to me, it's like when mass shootings become your favorite pastime. When you walk down the street and you say hi to a person and they don't respond. When you treat people in the way that we treat each other as a community, I think that we're in need of a religion. We're in need of some type of moral compass and spiritual guide. And I don't know. I just can't turn my back on the Bible and the prophets and what they taught. I just can't do it. But that's all I wanted to add, man. I ain't gonna talk to you to them.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna bring Deacon on, and then high end security. I'll bring you on after Deacon's 2 minutes. All right. And then we just keep going. Keep on coming. I don't mind. Go ahead, Deacon.
Hey, what's good? I just want to say that I always say that we are in the image, in the likeness of our Father. And what is God? God is spirit. I said, but the spirit that dwells in the body, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're not living the word of God, then we don't understand the truth of God. And God is spirit, not flesh. But yet we walk around here in flesh, but in spirit. The image of God is not the flesh. It is the spirit that dwells in us. I have to keep saying that because I think I keep getting misinterpreted. I'm never saying that God is a color, a flesh, or anything like that. I'm not saying that. And also about Martin Luther King speaking on leading his people into a burning house. And when you said about the integration with Jackie Robinson and all this, it was deeper than just the sports players, right? We had hotels. I mean, the fancy hotels, the whole nine. We had businesses, man, thriving businesses. But what happened was when these folks came in and got off, some of us, not all, but some of our folks to start going into these white establishments, then black folk who are already in business finding themselves have to compete now, not with their brethren, but now with white folk. And that was a problem. And I can send you a video, a 10-minute video. You don't have to play the whole thing, but I can send it to you right now. And so all of us can get a, a little throwback peek, so everybody can really see what the times were and how it was, you know what I'm saying, and understand that our people was dealing with good money, big money, fancy hotels. I mean, rival the white hotels, but they was competing now, not with their brothers, but now with other folks outside of the community. And that's why I said that's what hurt us. And when people say, well, why you want to be segregated? No, listen, bro, it's about us doing for self, man. We thrived just as great as anyone else when we was given opportunity to be left alone to do so.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. And can I send you the video right now? We want to send by text or Instagram?
Any way you want, man.
All right. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna text it to you. If you don't get it by text, I send it to Instagram. I'm gonna do it to you now.
Sure.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, no worries. Yeah. High energy security. I'm gonna let you're up, brother.
Okay, can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay, thank you. Honestly, I was flipping through videos on YouTube and I just saw false prophets in Black communities. And I didn't get a chance to read your full title, Agents of the Government. And I just logged in because false prophets is something I really wanted to talk about. But as I'm listening to your show, it's a great show. It goes greater in depth than that. And I don't have the knowledge to communicate on those areas. So I'm gonna have to log off and continue to listen to the show. But thank you for having me thus far.
No, I appreciate it. And hit the subscribe button.
Okay.
We're gonna do a part 2 on this, man, because I want people to express themselves, man. I want a space where people can really say what they believe and not get cursed out. Because
I want to talk about all of the false prophets, all of the mega churches.
Sure, go ahead.
And things along those lines. And I believe, and I could be wrong, and I want somebody to stop me. I think it's all a big hustle. I think it's all a big hustle, and probably that's all I have to say, unless somebody can expand on that or talk about more, and I can chime in.
Yeah, everybody left.
Okay, so it's at the end of the program.
No, it's not the end of. We got a couple more minutes, but I just know there's no one else on the panel. They'll come. It'll be more people to be, man. But they're not here right now. I'm opening up the phone lines again too.
Can I stay on or?
Yeah, sure. Okay. You can stay on. Sure,
I
you can stay
appreciate
on. Do you have anything to say about the other two? There's Eddie Long, Elijah Muhammad, and Louis Farrakhan, or anyone else?
Let's talk about Louis Farrakhan. I listen to him sometime. He's very educational on some things that he speaks on, and a lot of things he be saying are right.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I can say. I'm not there to know the inner workings of his organization, but I want to know, how does his organization thrive? Is it just like a regular church, or it goes deeper than that? How do he really make his money? Who takes care of him?
The government does. The government does. Yeah, the government does. I'll pull it up right now, man, so we can see it, man.
How did he get that to happen? And under what? For getting food stamps or what?
The government gets government contracts, man.
For what type of businesses?
I'll see it. I'll put it to you right now so we can see it. I'll read it really quick. According to news reports, the Nation of Islam and its leaders have been paid at least $364,000 by the federal government since 2008. The money was fund the NOI, religious services, spiritual guidance and services, study services, and other programs based on Bureau of Prison Records, the Anti-Defamation League, and the Southern Poverty Law, so on and so forth. I'll put the link in the chat. But the point I want to make is, you can't take money from the devil.
Now, they control you.
They have government programs and they get security. They have, I mean, they got millions of dollars in security from the government, and that's how they were. That's how they're able to fund. Yeah, it's well documented. All it takes is a 5-minute Google search. You'll pull it up. 501. What's up?
Salute to the shop.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, not much. Hey, Fred, I kind of wanted to piggyback. I think it was the caller before the last one.
Deacon, probably Deacon.
No, it wasn't Deacon. It was a guy talking about he was heavily, raised up in the church. So was I. I chimed in last show when you talked about this son of a preacher. So I've kind of seen this aspect, working in the church, playing the piano, and just growing up asking questions, bro. And to be honest with you, man, the track in front of the church, man, it's a bunch of bullshit, bro. I mean, and learning and trying to grow and growing away from the church was the hardest shit I ever done in my life, bro.
I bet.
Because it has a hold. Like, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Like, so my family's from the Delta. So I came up with going to church in the sticks with the fans in the windows. And a lot of our people have migrated. They had the same mentality as these people. You can't get no more closer to a slave than the Delta, bro. I don't know if you ever been down in Memphis and those areas and Mississippi, man. Our people was not very educated there, bro. Almost to a point where you think they're slow. You know what I'm saying? But when you can ask a Christian simple questions, stuff they don't even think about, man. Like, hey man, you just walk up. Can a woman have a baby without a man? Man, hell no. But don't you believe Mary did? Anything's possible with Jesus. It's just all these just simple little things, bro. For like the kingship. You had to listen to Dr. Henry Clark, back in the day, the kingship and African history used to come off the mom's side, never off the dad's side. And most of them don't even know that most of the things about Jesus that was political when Herod was trying to kill him was because Mary, his mom, was an actual relative of Solomon, which would make Jesus the king. Actually, it was more like a political shit if you want to believe that. But man, it just. I know that most people don't really believe that shit, but I just think it's just more so that people, just like they want to join gangs, they want to join religious groups. You know what I'm saying? They know that these men are flawed, but I just think we pack animals and people just need. I want something to do or want to belong to something. Because I know, man, I'm a son of a preacher, man. And my mom even told me, I feel, what was Elijah's son's name?
Wallace.
Wallace. I can feel Wallace, man. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause, you talk to your mother, you're like, I don't, everything, come on, man. And they know that all this stuff isn't true, but I heard Dr. Umar say, I'm not too big on him, but he said something that people know that a lot of shit ain't true, but if you try to awaken them, they will kill you. Because they think when you challenge them on shit, we try to, one thing about the shop, brothers in here trying to, sharpen each other, and ain't nobody cussing nobody out and nothing like that. But the truth hurts, bro. Don't nobody want to do. A lot of people that's religious don't want to do any real like serious education or study on the shit. They want to go off how they feel, and they want to go off what grandma told.
Right.
And they think if they learn something new, that's blasphemy to grandma. Grandma would never lie to me, but man, she didn't even know better. And if it's somewhere she can look down now, she probably said, "You damn fool! I didn't know. You got the information right there."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it, man, is they know that following me, and I got a problem even talking to a man. I mean, let him have his beliefs, but to just wholeheartedly think everything comes from, somewhere else. After 40, bro, come on, man.
Right.
It's like, dude, are you serious? But, to each his own. If it makes you better, I know some people need that. But wholeheartedly down, man. I don't even think they really believe it like that, bro. They just pack animal shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if you look at the if you really look at the whole picture, I know you said God does not have nothing to do with race, and you correct, but if he did, man, he done failed us over and over and over again, and we just rinse and repeat. Same thing being with our politics, politically immature. Just go along, get along, vote, pray, hope. Don't do anything serious, man. You got to take over your life, and I know it hurts when you trying to discover this shit, man. But at least, at least it's a such thing as root knowledge, and there's a such thing as branch knowledge. Right. I always want to know the root. You know what I'm saying? Right. As long as you know the root, and whatever you want to believe in, man, just know the truth, man. I just try to know the history of where shit comes from, and just instead of, But anyway, that's my rant for tonight. Oh, preacher boy, these conversations get to me, brother.
Oh yeah, I didn't know it was so powerful till last week. I'm like, oh man, people speaking passionately.
Yeah.
This is important. I didn't know.
I mean, because it is. Let me tell you something, Fred. It is something within us as a people,
right? That
is more of a spiritual thing, bro. I used to be on that piano, and I could wake people up in that audience. On that keyboard,
right?
So it is a spiritual aspect. And I think we did have a hell of a God presence, or however you want to think of God as. At one point we did have it, but somehow we lost it. Right. Because this one we got now, you know what I'm saying? This confused Jesus we got right now. In the Old Testament, all the names are all these Hebrew names, Zechariah, Habakkuk, all kind of crazy names. Then we get over here into the New Testament, and they got United States names: Matthew, Mark, Fred, Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How did that come about? You know what I'm saying? So, but that's all I wanted to say, bro.
Appreciate you.
I'll sit back. Okay, thanks, man.
You, thank you. Hey, yeah, Andrew, I got you coming in. Go ahead, Andrew. I got you coming in. I fucking banned. Let me wait a minute. What am I doing? Okay. Andrew, go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, can you hear me, brother?
Very well.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's
Definitely
up?
a very, very fruitful dialogue between brothers that's much needed. Just my 2 cents. At one point in my life, I was a processing member of the Nation of Islam. I was down there, Muhammad Mosque 48 in Dallas, Texas. My roots in that organization were actually through California. One teammate of mine, he was, in Texas by way of Cali, and I got connected through him because his father actually, he actually passed away recently. Brother Shaheed Muhammad, a legend in the nation.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of high regard for the nation, and kind of like the brother previously was saying, with my high regard, also, I do have my discrepancies with the nation. I try to keep those discrepancies in house between other brothers, and I would never have these types of conversations outside of that. Just because I know the perspective that white America has on the nation, and I know that the nation is a very positive thing for brothers like myself and other brothers who were incarcerated, things of that nature. So I just want to make sure that we could bash Elijah all we want, and we could bash Lewis all we want, but let's just try to do our best, man. It's to take the good from it, because I said in the chat that if we morally judge every man, then every man is going to fall short, because we all have our things, our idiosyncrasies, or our things that we have that we may not be proud of. You feel me? Whether they are a government agency or not, I don't know if I want to get into that. I don't know. I saw what you pulled up. That was very interesting. I got to do my own research, and do the math on that.
Millions, from security to the AIDS to, millions of dollars, man. Millions.
And now, what was that website?
Oh, you can just Google it. Google NOI gets government funding for AIDS, security, You can go read Louis Farrakhan minutes in the Senate, and hence he got the Million Man March. Like people just see the Million Man March as a day of atonement, but when actuality it was his indoctrination into the government. Because how do you get 1 million people on the National Mall of America? Is that what it's called, the National Mall? Yeah,
the monument. It was the monument.
Yeah, the monuments. How do you get 1 million? How do you get permission to get 1 million people there? Why are you asking the government for permission? Don't you own property in Chicago? Why aren't you galvanizing Chicago? Don't you have a mosque in LA? Why don't you go to LA and galvanize the people outside of your mosque? But you went to where? You went to the white man's home. So it is, man. It is what it is, man. You probably got to be, man. But the phone lines are open. But yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at with this, man.
Now, did he do good with the money? I mean, did he help the communities? I'm quite sure he did.
Yeah, but his mission statement is anti, do for self, separate yourself, and so on and so forth. That's all.
That was Umar's. I think the other brother brought up Umar as well. And again, I'm starting to become in a point of my life, kind of like the brother said, I'm kind of indifferent to these dudes, where I see some of the things that they're doing, but I also see the good that they may do. So one of the things that Umar said when it came to even a brother like LeBron, like, yeah, he opened up that school, but that school has government funding, so you can't really take the curriculum by hand and be at the grassroots with it, because you have somebody funding you that they're going to dictate the policy and everything like that. So that's not really LeBron James School, has his name on it. So like how you said with the minister, man, that like finding out that's crazy, because now, we can't really do for self, right? If the government is funding us. So that's right. Kind of like the circle that we kind of always get into. And it's like, damn, like, how can we just like do for self for real? And that's the thing about Elijah in the 60s, he was doing his own thing, and he was like, to my knowledge, now I don't know, but to my knowledge, he was independent of the government. He had his farms, he had his land in Nebraska, he had land in Arizona, he had different entities of gaining money and doing things for the members of the nation. Now, when he left in 77, I want to say the year was 77, 75, that shit died, and Lewis was not able to ever bring that back.
Yeah, the reason why it died, because he wanted it to die with him, because he didn't physically appoint a man and says, I have bronchitis. They don't even acknowledge that the man is dead. They just acknowledge that he is, I don't know, he's in the wheel somewhere. But but he didn't set a predecessor, because he knew that his children was coming, and that's why Louis Farrakhan gave that very speech on his swan song when he said, don't let these men get you. He's talking about the media, and because he doesn't want it to come out, because he's never acknowledged anyone but Khadijah. He's never acknowledged anyone but her. But even on his son's obituary, it only had his kids from Khadijah. It don't have other wives and other women. So
indeed, yeah.
I think that the truth is going to come out as it pertains to him, but that's where we go wrong, because if a school teacher assaults a child, we want them to burn in hell, because it's a misappropriation of power. The same thing can be said about ministers, misappropriation of power. Because they're still flock, they're still students, and I think. I know that they're being used, and people say, well, they did good things. You can't go into a building and shoot up the building. No, you got to make them believe enough to drink the Kool-Aid to kill themselves. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you just go into a building and bang bang, shoot them up, kill everybody. No, you give them sugar. It's like alcohol chase. Some people don't like straight. They need a chaser. They like mixed drinks. Why? Yeah, exactly the same reason that you have people that are clever enough to manipulate you, you know, and that's us as a whole. We glorify pimping, we glorify game banging, because we don't want the truth. We don't want the chaser. We don't want to hold people accountable to exactly what the word says, whether it's the Quran, the Bible, or anything else, any other book. But that's where we go wrong. And I think the lack of accountability in our quote unquote leaders is where we're flawed. You know, the fact that 10 to 20 people allowed Malcolm X to give a speech 7 days after his home was bombed is ridiculous. The fact that 10 to 20 people allowed him to let people in without being searched is stupid. You get what I'm saying? Like there's nothing in Fred that would say, hey, I think you should give a speech about 5 miles from your house after they done bombed it. 7 days away.
Indeed.
No, we're going to Ghana. We're getting you out of the country. We're taking you, your wife, and your 6 kids, and we're leaving.
So that means that he was entrusting someone else to make his decisions.
No, I'm saying if you have a chamber, no, he was making the decisions because they didn't search. But what I'm saying is, like, it's just practicality, man. God is really, really simple. He's not really complex, man. You're either right or you're wrong. And I think that's the most important thing. And but yeah, man, that's where I'm at.
Not even to mention there was also it's also noted and documented there was also no NYPD present at all, which was also fishy.
Yeah, very minimal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and I actually, I mean, I was raised in Harlem, born in Harlem, born in the hospital where he was pronounced dead at. But it's just, and when you see the dynamics of it, it's like, dog, it don't make sense. It literally don't make sense that it happened like that. And then 40 years later, you realize it does make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because you see how it's going, and I'm 44 years old now, so I can look back and be like, yeah, that's how it turned out. I can totally see, because now we have grown men saying, forget that he's a rapist. Forget that he robbed the people of money because the money went to his 28 kids, 30 kids. So he robbed the parishioners of their money. All that hard work of the people selling newspapers and selling bean pies and selling bean soup, that money went to the kids that he never acknowledged while he was alive. So people gotta state what it is. Because if a cop misappropriates power on a black man, you know what happens in America? We riot. If a pastor misappropriates his power, guess what we do? We praise him in death.
We forgive him.
So why get mad at the white cop for killing one black man? If you're not gonna hold another another man accountable for not just killing black people, but keeping them in the same position that they're in because he took their money and didn't grow it.
Hello, there you go.
So that's kind of where I'm at with. I'm gonna let Deacon chime in really quick, and then I'll let him respond. Go ahead, Deacon.
Yeah, I was waiting on you to play that video too. Did you get it?
Yeah, you gotta give me a timestamp. Like what section?
Start. I text you and said start around about like 3 minutes in, and then I want to let me say, man, it's before you do that. It's a sad thing, man, for real. And I know it's a lot of people here now who are new to the show, who don't know me and know my stories. And you got to skip through
I
that.
watched this the other day.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I watched it the other day. I'm subscribed to his channel.
Oh, okay. You know what's up. Yeah.
What time you want me to? It's not in the email. What time on the text? What? You want me to?
But go to like 325 and let it. You can go from there.
Okay. Go ahead and respond if you want to.
Yeah.
Respond. Go ahead.
Me, when I speak about having personal relationships with God, I can actually recite conversations with God. You understand me? Where God has spoke to me 3 days before my mother passed away, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Where I was obedient to God when he spoke to me and told me, don't pray with her tonight, but listen tonight. Tonight belongs to her. Tonight is her night. And I had to be obedient. I couldn't move. And 3 days later, she passed away. My daughter passed away in 2002. You understand? And I talked to God and I say, Father, you said that you would never forsake me. And God spoke to me and said, I have not forsaken you. And I said, my daughter is not here. I lost my child. And I didn't hear another word from God. I cried all through the night till my eyes swelled up. I was wailing through the night till I went to sleep. Woke up the next morning. See, you have to be sincere with God. When you're talking to God, you have to come to him in a sincere manner. So once I got it all out of me, I asked him again, Father, you said that you'll never forsake me. He says, I have not forsaken you. You did not lose a child. You have gained a child in me, for she's not sin. She know not sin. My daughter was 6 months old. She was mine before she was yours. I love her more than you. She's all right. I need for you to be all right and take care of those kids that I left you with. Raise them up in a way that they should go. And when he told me that, he saved my life once again. Raised me up from a dead level of thinking to a living level of thinking, because I was ready to die. I was ready to go. He brought me from death once again in order to give me life. And I was always taught as well. I just want to throw this little gem out there for you. Don't ever pray in vain. See, because God will give you what you want just to show you what you need. You understand me? And see, when you pray for things in vain just because you want something, oh, he'll give it to you. And once you get it, you realize you don't need it. It's not something that you need. Now you got to wear it. And he gonna let you wear it for a while. And now you realize and appreciate what it is that you need really in your life. God has raised me up and taught me my way. Birthed me in through the womb of a great woman who knew God, taught us God from day one. Those powerful relationships are those that I strive to, that I wish that all of you will strive to have in your life, where you can have personal testimonies with God, not just quoting the Bible, not just trying to get in a pissing contest about what you know versus what the next man know. And you have no faith in God because you go through something. Job went through something. A faithful man of God. I was given the story of Job when I was going through a bad time in my life, facing 25 to life. They took everything from me. And right before trial, God sent me one with blonde hair, blue eyes, who look like them, who think like them, who walk like them. He came in sinful flesh to come and condemn sin in the flesh. Touch not my anointed, do my prophet no harm. Beat the case, throw it all out, except one charge: resisting with violence. And the white man that I'm speaking of, he say, I told you from the beginning, I'm not for black, I'm not for white, I'm for green. If you got a little more money, I'll get that last charge thrown out. But they broke the bank with me. I bonded out on $100 and some thousand bond. The case went on for about a year. See, but when you know God, he'll bring you from death and give you a life. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Fred, you can play it, man. I appreciate you, man. I love you, but you always let me get in and get off, man. I appreciate it. Let's show them what we're talking about here.
I appreciate it. Yep.
I'm finna get off and listen.
All right.
Thank you. Okay.
Yep, all the time. Yep.
Than any motel or any restaurant or any.
Let me preface this. This video is in reference to Black ownership well before our generation.
Colored business have been operated just under segregation bill.
Do you find that you're losing a lot of business to white motels?
Well, now we haven't, because I figure we have started in time. And I've talked to several Negro businessmen that I know well, and they are going to do it in hotels, restaurants, and nightclubs, and they said they are going to do it. And so we was talking the other day, a couple of fellas and I, that they was going to start soon, because they are losing. But we have started in time to protect ourselves, and I think that we will be all right.
Well, now, what about the rates here? Do you have to undercut your competition, your white competition, in order to make it here?
We are going to have the same rate as white. We got browse suite and executive suite, just like the white motels have. And we're going to have a commercial rate, just like the white motels have. And we are going to compete just all the way around. We're just going to have a first-class hotel open to the public. And I don't think we'll have any trouble at all.
What do you think the attitude of the Negroes who want to go into white motels are concerned? Do you think that they will retract and come back into a predominantly Negro hotel?
Well, now, what I find out, since we have built these 32 units here, that the Negro traveler just wants a real first-class motel. And he just want to feel that when he pays his money, he's getting first class. Now, that's where I find out. But we have had a few whites, and they have really enjoyed staying with us. They really have some we have had to come back. And but I think most of the Negro want is a first-class motel, a first-class anything. I says he's making money, and he figured that if he want to go someplace, he want to be able to go. Now,
yeah, man. Yeah, so that was I'm gonna put the link in the chat if you guys want to finish it, but that's just in correlation to the conversation about the assimilation process that happened in America after the Civil Rights and the Voting Act rights. Any last words? Hi.
My question.
We're gonna do a part 2, but go ahead. Next week sometime maybe. But go ahead.
Go ahead, Andrew. Somebody spoke. I was trying to ask a question, but somebody else I think spoke too.
No, you're up. You good, brother. Yeah, you can get your final words.
My question is, the man was saying that appears the business was booming. What pushed at that time Martin Luther King and everyone, the followers who was promoting him, to wanted to do integration? Because it seemed like there was a lot of things were happening successfully in the Black communities. So what pushed us over into this area? I mean, maybe that's a whole conversation. I don't know. I should know it myself because I'm Black, but I don't.
He's being funded. He's the man is being funded, man. And like, for example, if I'm going to speak at Oxford University, right, and I'm building I'm building who I am, the government is going to step in and find ways so Oxford can pay you. Simultaneously, it's going the other way. They're infiltrating your team to build you up. So and then when you get fat enough, they'll slaughter you. And that's the same thing that's happened at all these entities: the Nation of Islam, the Black Panther Party, the Martin Luther King and the Civil Rights Movement. You know, in Africa, it's happened quite a few times, and you know, it's just a reality. They will infiltrate, and they know how to infiltrate. It's very easy to infiltrate, man. If a man is drowning, he doesn't give a fuck what arm pulls him up. He don't care. It can be a dog's arm. It can be a white man's arm. It can be a black man's arm. You mean to tell me I ain't got to drown no more? No. And he gives him just enough to keep him in need. And
so what I'm hearing is it all been a front. It all was a lie. It was all hidden agendas.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
I'm
Like,
46 years old,
yeah,
running late.
yeah. I'm gonna play this last clip and then we'll close the show because I want people to how Elijah Muhammad, I mean Louis Farrakhan knows these things, man. Let's see if I can bring it up. Right, y'all. Okay, right here. Here it is, right here.
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's
This is Muhammad
women were
Ali's wife
underage,
speaking right here.
overage, and secretaries. And can you expound on that?
Yeah, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true.
But in 1963, Malcolm X learned that Elijah Muhammad himself had repeatedly committed adultery with some of his teenage secretaries and had children with them. Malcolm agonized over his discovery, and in June of 1964, he told me, and he called some of these women.
Listen and watch Louis Farrakhan's body language and reaction.
And let me listen to the conversation, and it became apparent he was telling the truth. He told you about that, yes.
Right? See? Boom. like it's not making up. Louis Farrakhan knows the truth, man. He couldn't deny it because Mike Wallace in 1964, when Malcolm X was really one of the reasons, I don't know, but he stayed overseas a lot was to build an entity, and he was in fear for his life, you know, and he had to use another form of media to semi protect him. And what he did was he used Mike, you can use or whatever term you want to use. He used Mike Wallace to document it. He wanted it documented that he was telling the truth. So now in 1999, this is 1999, y'all, 1999, 2000, sometime this interview occurred. Louis Farrakhan admits that he knew that the woman was underage because he was talking to a primary document. You can't lie when you're talking to a primary document. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when we're talking, we have to speak from a truth perspective. Farrakhan is alive today, and he knows Elijah Muhammad's women were underage. You saw him say yes. I didn't doctor this. It's on YouTube. I just edited it to fit within a 30-second clip. That's it.
Hey, Fred, are you familiar with the I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
No, please.
Are you familiar with the story that Brother Minister Louis Farrakhan said, where the only reason why Malcolm went to the press with those allegations with the young ladies is because and I man, it's tough, man, because you know he's my guy. He said that allegedly Malcolm was feeling one of the young ladies, and he was jealous that Elijah, when he found out Elijah was and when he found out, so Malcolm found out through Wharf Dean, Elijah's son.
Sure.
Okay, and so what Lewis was saying, when he found out what he was doing, he found out what he was doing, but he also found out what he was doing with one of the young ladies he was quite fond of, and that's what really broke him, and that's what made him. So I thought that was kind of distasteful because Malcolm is not here to defend that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's he said, she said.
Yeah, it's he say, she say, and I lean on what I know, and I lean on through yourself, you know others, right? There's always going to be a linchpin. I don't know if it's selfish or if it's actually the truth or a combination of the both. Now, Evelyn Williams was fond. They were fond of each other. Evelyn Williams, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have my notes in front of me, but she was a member of Mos 11, which is in Boston. I don't know if I'm getting the numbers right.
I believe it is.
Yeah. What happens is Elijah Muhammad had kids with Evelyn Williams, and I believe she's still alive. She has dementia or something in Phoenix. And so when the man proclaims to be God in the flesh and he sleeps with the woman that you were supposed to be in love with, and it makes you put things in real terms. Could it be jealousy. Malcolm X is human. It could be a hint of jealousy. Could it be rage? It could be a hint of rage. And ultimately, it's still the truth. You know, Elijah Muhammad can be probably seen as the jealous person because he actually, and manipulation of power, because he actually slept with her and bare kids. So, I mean, I would say it's a combination of both. I don't take Malcolm X out of being human. As much as fond as I am of him, he's still a human being to me. He has human emotion. So if my preacher smashes my girlfriend, even though I'm married to another woman, I'm still like, hold up. Don't you have a wife? Don't you say you're God in the flesh? I'm not a prophet. I'm God in the flesh. You understand what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So yeah. I mean, that could have been the tipping point. I mean, jealousy, rage, conviction, all the above. I say all the above.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But he was protected by the government. Somebody protected him. What happened to R. Kelly, underage girls?
Mm-hmm.
He's in jail. What happened? How did they protect him?
He was very much protected because he ended up getting awards from the government, from the state of Chicago, and press secretaries and stuff. Or the Nixon's assistant came down to Chicago to honor him late in his years, and he got a private jet. And I don't care what nobody say. It's very challenging for a church to produce a private jet. I'm just gonna be. I know Creflo Dollar did it, but it's still quite challenging, you know. And to keep it up to date, and to, man, come on, man, it's a whole lot of work that goes involved to get that type of capital for a private jet when you have people literally going under because they can't sell 200 papers. So
what do you guys feel about, because you mentioned about how we did better, and black people hate to hear that we did better during segregation. They just love white mommy and daddy, and have that, that tendency to want to seek that out, right? But so if MLK was clearly compromised, and we were able to be infiltrated, like how you named the Black Panthers and the Nation and things of that nature. Neely Fuller, you familiar with Neely Fuller?
Yeah.
He talks about a code, and it's hard to infiltrate a code because there's no face to the movement. How do you feel about that stance when it comes to our people and our progression?
Sure. It all makes sense because I have a code when I go to the hospital, fill out the application, sit my ass down and wait.
Yep.
Like I have a code when I go to the bank, I stand in the line and I be quiet and I don't look at other people's receipt. I don't look at people when I'm in the bank because they feel uncomfortable. There's a code in the bank. When I drop my son off, I don't double park because I know there's parents rushing to go to work. So you know what I do? I either circle the block or if I'm in a position to wait in the red for a parking spot, I do the same. I don't park in the bus line because the bus is coming. Codes work.
Yes.
Codes is the reality of it. But when the code is become popular, become famous, that's more important than integrity. There's parents right now trying to do the meme of trying to convince their kid to fight. That's a meme right now that's going super viral, and
that's
people
great.
are celebrating. People say, "Oh, it's the funniest shit I've seen all day."
It's awful.
Yeah, and then there's another meme of a little black kid punching and kicking, a 4-year-old kid punching and kicking a police officer. So that's the before and after.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
So, man, it's I believe in code because I have a code in my house.
Yep.
I'm a leader in my house.
Yep.
When we left San Francisco, we left my boy's house at 11. We got in the car and I said, everybody, we're leaving at 6:30 in the morning to leave San Francisco yesterday. We left at 6:30 in the morning. I said, you guys can go back to sleep. I was talking to Dre. I was talking and I was talking to my 2 kids. We're getting up at 6. Dre set the alarm at 6 o'clock. And we were in the car at 6:30. So there's codes. It works. It really works. And we strayed away from it because capitalism is winning. People will trade fame for everything. You know, I know people will trade fame for everything. All these rappers wake up, all these musicians and artists wake up at 45 and realize they only made $3 million.
Yep.
That man died worth $2.2 million, man. What's that? He was a great actor, man. Chadwick Boseman. 2.2. His family split $2.2 million. So that means before Black Panther, he was broke. Black Panther grossed $1.3 billion. There was no kickbacks. There was no back end money. There was nothing. He was working because he knew he was going to die, and he had to leave his family something. Imagine that pressure.
Sure.
Imagine that. You literally just bought your house because you didn't have any money. You're 2 or 3 years into your house. Your mortgage payment is $5,000. You got a couple kids. You got a wife. Your overhead is, high. You're probably cutting back, but imagine leaving your wife with a $5,000 mortgage and she's a house mom.
Poor thing, he had cancer.
Yeah, and he passed away. And I love the man. I met him. I'm not talking back. I'm talking pragmatics. I'm talking the actual facts. I'm not adding emotion to it. And it's just awful how they just use and manipulate us, you know. And now it's not a color anymore. It's not a color because Jay-Z says, "Fuck your halftime show," and guess what he's doing now? Getting halftime acts for the halftime show. so it's not a color.
It's all an illusion. They feed you one thing on the news, and it's totally different.
Yeah,
behind the scenes.
Facts.
It is funny the brother mentioned R. Kelly, right? Because R. Kelly R. Kelly was documented as public record. He tried to marry a 14-year-old in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
And all them artists signed up and lined up to work with him from 94 all up until the mid-2000s, and they knew what he was doing.
Disgusting.
Jay-Z included.
Yeah, Jay-Z included. He did an album with him, 2 albums
He did an album with him, right? But then now they got like the what was the documentary called when they made on R. Kelly, and then now it's all an uproar and everybody dissing him and everything like that. I'm like, but y'all worked with him,
right?
It's weird, man. And not to mention, and allegedly Jay-Z was even doing that with Foxy Brown, but I don't even want to go there because you know, hey, Foxy was 15, 16 years old.
Yeah, so I heard, you know, and it's just
we pick and choose, man. But like you said, we don't got no code.
Yeah, no code. And you ain't picking this. And it's funny. I didn't even know. I was a school teacher and didn't even know. I'm like, hold up. Did I miss something? I missed that whole thing, man. I guess I wasn't really into the music thing at all. I wasn't watching. I was working, so I guess I wasn't watching MTV at the time. But 2015, 2016, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah, you know. So it's just it don't make sense, and we got to ostracize these men because these are their choices.
Yep.
Hold them accountable to their choices. And that's what I'm saying. We getting out of here, man. This was an awesome show, man. Yes,
it is.
Any final words from y'all before I close the show?
Man, I just appreciate y'all.
You know, I appreciate y'all. Please come back. Hit that subscribe button, man. We're gonna come back. Hopefully, we have another great show tomorrow night, man. Thank you guys for coming through, dog.
Yes, sir.
Totally appreciate y'all, man. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
All the time, y'all. Hopefully, see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, peace.
Yep, all the time. Hey, man, I appreciate the engagement tonight, man. I gotta unblock. See, how can I do this? Settings. Let's see. Before I get out of here, let me figure this shit out. How to unblock. Okay, I think I unblocked them. There we go. All right. Hopefully I unblocked them. And so now you're clear. But I thank you guys. The engagement was amazing tonight, man. And like I said, you can totally get off. I welcome if you disagree with me. I'm not going to talk about your mama. I'm not going to do none of that. And but feel free to come back tomorrow, man. We got a good one. Jay Morrison, he said I was clickbaiting him, but I was just talking for the subscribers that support me, that sent me the paperwork, and that's why I was on them. But someone sent me a video today of him coming at me. And matter of fact, if you guys want to enjoy it, let's see if I can find it. And then we're gonna end it on that note and get the hell out of here. I appreciate y'all, man, for coming through, man. Great show. And we'll come back tomorrow with another. I just appreciate the engagement, man. I think the engagement and the conversation is totally important, man. And Ramsey, where is it? Yeah, you guys will enjoy this. Oh yeah, he called me an internet troll. Here it is, right here.
Question.
He should have put my title. He should have put my name in the title. People would have went. There you go, guys. You guys can watch that from Jay Morrison. So I'm gonna talk about that tomorrow, man. And like I said, I don't really care about that. I just care about the money. And he said he's in the red. You can't be in the red with $12 million, y'all. You can't. It is impossible. Not unless you're building a 2,000 unit building. If you're buying assets, you can't be in the red because you're supposed to be the expert that you're supposed to buy an asset that accumulates wealth. I would never buy a building where I'm going to lose $3,000 a month. I'd rather build something. I'd rather build a building than to lose $3,000 a month. Anyways, I love y'all, man. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. Great conversation, man. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow, man. In the words of everybody that comes on the show, they said, play the song, Fred. Thanks, y'all, for coming through, man. I appreciate y'all, man. 7 big homie Andrew, 7 Deuce Deacon, appreciate you, big homie. Hustler Sim, appreciate you, big homie. Elijah, I appreciate you, man, for coming through. Hey, you got to send me those tapes, man. Send me those tapes. Send me those tapes, man. I definitely want to hear those old speeches. Send them to me. Put them on the record them to your phone and put them in a Dropbox for me. Just the quotes, you know what I mean? So I can have them. I don't need to listen to all the speeches, man. Sleep with my third eye open, wide open. Elijah in the building. Yeah, man. Jerry P. I appreciate y'all, man. Damn. I know. 7 Deuce, I appreciate y'all. Yeah, I know. That is dope. That is dope. That is dope. Oh my gosh. How cool is that? So Lincoln and my college teammate son is born a day apart from each other. Literally one day. 1 year and 1 day apart, right? And look, we were together this weekend, and this is the same picture years from now. I don't know if y'all can see it. Dre just sent it to me. Appreciate you, Dre. She probably listening to the show. Appreciate you, Dre. Love you. We got people Hernandez in the building. Oh man, let's get that over. It's the moment of truth. No backing down. This is dope. This is dope. This is dope. Oh man. It's a given. You gotta give it. Be a blessing. It's my personal statement. Running game. Things you turn to be the greatest yet. I'm weaving and changing up like the season and did. What a show, man. Give yourselves a round of applause, man. This is the barbershop, y'all. This is the barbershop, man. Give yourselves a round of applause, man. Thank you guys for coming through. Appreciate you, Deacon. Appreciate you, Kane. Appreciate you, Andrew. Appreciate you. Hannibal fell off. Appreciate you. Appreciate security. Appreciate you. Who am I missing? Appreciate you. What's his name? Prime Dime? Is it Dime? I appreciate you, man. I'm drawing a blank on your name. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you going back and forth with me, man. Appreciate you, dog. And did I miss anybody? And the callers. I appreciate the callers. Preacher's son, I appreciate you, man. This hoodie is from right here. Historically Black Apparel. There it is. Historically Black Apparel. There it is. Love y'all, man. They got them in 2 colors, but the gold one always sells out, man. Love y'all. I ain't got it yet.